Hello YouTube, Hampus here again. Back in Sweden, I'm all fueled up with some sun and energy to cope with the winter weather here in Stockholm. Uh, as I posted in the last video, I've bought some more tobacco. Actually, one Peterson Gold Blend. Haven't tried it yet, but it sounds delicious. It's a Black Cavendish and Virginia and Burley mixture, and the Sunset Breeze. I've read that it's almost the same as the Gold Blend, but with added amaretto to it, so it has more of a fruity and nutty aroma to it. This one I have tried and I really like it. It doesn't burn hot at all, and has a pleasant aroma to it. Either way, that's not what this video is about. This video, I'm going to touch the topic. I have been asked several times where I got my name from or what it means. Iron Bay Handcrafts. Well, Iron Bay, it's actually a two-part story. So I will start from the beginning. When I pursued my hobby as a leather worker or leather craftsman, and it was about 3 or 4 years ago. I saw a man on Instagram, Ewing Dry Goods, a man from Alaska doing some vegetable tanned leather goods. And I wanted to order some belt loop from him. But the shipping cost was way too expensive. It would cost more to ship it than the actual cost of the product. So I thought to myself, I'm quite handy. Can't I make one myself? So I actually ended up going to a local flea market and bought some second-hand leather belts, worn out, and I used the leather scraps to make my first belt loops. And I actually sold those quite cheap to my friends and family, and that kept that started the interest in looking up information about leatherworking and actually buying some tools and scrap leather and so on. And just when I started making my first real leather items from scratch, I something rather peculiar happened to me. At that point, I was working as a caretaker in the home health care business, or what you can call it. And I met an old man that I helped in his last days in life in his home. He was struggling from cancer, suffering from cancer, and sadly passed away only 2 months after I started to get to know him. We became quite close friends, actually. He was a very humble guy. He was a motorcycle enthusiast. He showed me a lot of pictures and such. And I showed him my leatherworking goods. And then he told me, Hampus, come, do you want to see what I got in my garage? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I got some time left over, so that's where the funny thing is. I don't believe in fate or destiny or anything, but I do believe that the paths you take in life do connect in sort of way. Because that was like only a few weeks after I started, and there he is, a leather worker. I mean, he in his garage he had his own leatherworking shop, and he had been a leather worker for like 30 years. And that was really like an epiphany to me. He showed me all his tools, all his leather products that he made, like bags, belts, and other bike-related stuff like handlebars and bags for the bikes and such. Really talented man. He only had it for a hobby, so he didn't. I think he was working on the with airplanes in some kind of way, but he had that as a hobby. And as I said, sadly he passed away only a few months after I started to meet him, but I decided then that I should continue doing leather goods. I mean, it's too much of a coincidence not to. I mean, me pursuing this dream of crafting and such, and meeting a mentor. I mean, it was like almost he was passing the torch to me in that sense, and I'm really glad. I'm grateful that I got to get to know him. So I do believe that your paths are crossing paths. I mean, you can call it like faith, or different people got different names on that. But I do believe that the paths you take do cross each other, and to get you where you're supposed to be, in a sense. It almost sounds religious, but you can call it whatever you want to call it. But anyway, that's the first part of the story. Me carrying on his legacy, if you like. And at that point, I needed a name. I need a name for my brand at that point, and I thought to myself, well, what should I call my future company or brand? And I ended up doing a interpretation and slightly translation of a place that is very dear to my heart. It's in Swedish called Järnavik, where it's a summer place where my parents still spend their summers in a caravan. We've been camping there for I don't know, since me and my brother were small. So, and if you translate it loosely, Järna, it's like cliffs in Swedish. It's an old, we don't use that word anymore, I guess, but it's like cliffs, and Vik is bay. So that's like cliff bay, but Järn, if you take away the A from Järna, that's another Swedish word, järn, and it means iron. So I thought that was a really cool name. It stuck to me, Iron Bay. I think I will do like a text in the video so you can easier follow my translation. So that's why I have some cliffs in my logo as well, some mountains, because it's really nice landscape just by the seaside in the southeastern parts of Sweden. Really nice place. And I try to go there as much as I can. Nowadays it's like only one or two times a year, but it's really beautiful. So yeah, it stuck with me, Iron Bay. Yeah, that's the story about the Iron Bay, Iron Bay brand. Well, that's about it for this video. So until next time, see ya.